What a good day. Oh, hello there. So glad you could come along. I am Joshua Gillespie. Okay, that's odd. Anyway, I'm here at Walt Disney World and, well, I don't have anything to review, so see ya. This is on. Hello?
Hello?
Who is this?
It's Sid.
Sid? I thought I told you not to interfere.
But you've got it wrong, Josh. You're at Walt Disney World. There's so much potential for an episode.
But I have absolutely nothing to review.
Yes, you do. Go check in the closet.
How did this even end up in there? Oh, whatever. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this Walt Disney World special episode of JG Reviews. I am your host, Joshua Gillespie.
And I'm Sid, and, well, I make these episodes worth watching.
Now, seeing as how I'm being held captive on my own vacation, I'm going to be reviewing the game Walt Disney World Magical Racing Tour, released for the PlayStation 1, the Dreamcast, and the PC.
It was also released on the Game Boy. We're gonna ignore that version.
Do I really have to review this now? What does Wallace say about this? Yep, you have to.
Majority rules.
Bon voyage! Alright, let's take a look at Walt Disney World Magical Racing Tour. We've reviewed games based on several of the Disney parks before, but never one for the Florida landmark Walt Disney World. Adventures in the Magic Kingdom doesn't count because that's technically Disneyland. Surprisingly, only 2 video games have been made about Walt Disney World. A PC exploring program that's actually not much of a game. There's some mini games thrown in, whatever. And the one we're looking at today. Now there were a lot of kart racing games based on popular franchises released during this era. So did this game have that one little spark that makes it stand out amongst the rest? Let's find out.
Hey, Josh, why couldn't we do something like green screen me in?
Because that looks stupid. Nobody would believe that. So, the story of Magical Racing Tour, yes, this game actually has a story, is told by Jiminy Cricket.
Because who else would tell it? Mickey Mouse? Don't be ridiculous.
The story is about the day Chip and Dale accidentally broke the fireworks machine at the Magic Kingdom, and with the help of some park visitors, they must race across the resort to find the scattered pieces. Okay, I just have one complaint.
Those with hearing aids may wish to remove the batteries.
No. Listen. During the adventure mode, if you're all trying to collect the pieces, why are you competing against each other? If they said whoever gets all of the pieces gets a prize or whatever, then competing against each other would make sense. See, Sid, I told you that was a... Sid? Okay, he's gone. It doesn't change the overall game for me. They didn't have to have a story at all, so it's nice that they included one. More than Mario Kart ever did. But we don't play racing games for a story. Usually. We play it for the racing. Now let's talk about the game.
Ooh, I want to talk about the gameplay.
Alright, Sid. Go ahead.
As the name suggests, you race on tracks based on many of the attractions at Walt Disney World. There aren't a lot of modes, but you have adventure, time trials, and versus.
You have 10 playable characters and 3 unlockable ones, and they're all they're all talking animals. As creative as these characters are, I'm surprised they didn't just use the characters that were already created for the park.
Yeah, like Figment. I was going to say Figment.
Alright.
Oh, and also,
Whoops, it looks like we've had a slight error in our phone call. Sorry about that. Alright, so with these characters, where will we be competing? 10 of the tracks are used for racing, and 3 of them are special coin collecting bonus areas. But where will we be racing? Big Thunder, Dinosaur, Test Track, Pirates, Space Mountain, Splash Mountain 2, Blizzard Beach, Rockin', Mansion and Jungle Cruise, Speedway and Typhoon Lagoon, and Studios.
okay, I'm back. For some reason, my phone started messing up.
Oh.
Did I miss anything?
Nothing. Totally nothing super embarrassing.
Oh.
I was just talking about where you race in the game.
Well, you know, it seems like there's something missing.
Okay. Like what?
Well, where's the Matterhorn?
That's in Disneyland.
Well, where's Mr. Toad's Wild Ride?
That doesn't exist anymore,
Oh.
unfortunately.
Well, where's Peter Pan's flight?
That is actually a really good question. While it would seem strange to race in a ride as small as Peter Pan, it would still be fun, or even It's a Small World.
It would be fun to just race around the Magic Kingdom, like those bikes they used to have at Epcot.
You mean the ones next to Cranium Command?
Yeah, those. And man, Body Wars was...
Oh, alright, let's get down to brass tacks.
That sounds painful.
Let's talk about the adventure mode.
One thing I have a problem with. The opening cutscene.
Well,
Oh my god!
Cricket's the name. Jiminy Cricket. And
What's
today
wrong with
I
his
have a treat
mouth?
for you that's sure to make
Just,
you smile.
it looks so...
Well, at least...
Why? The opening cutscene to this game is, terrifying. Thank you, early 2000 graphics.
Okay, now that I'll have nightmares for years,
You race on each of the 10 tracks, unlocking new ones as you go, and collect a piece of the magic machine. But that's not all. Return and win a second time to get the first place pennant. And finally, come back a third time and collect all 8 of the trophies scattered around the track before the timer runs out. That's a lot to do, and you'll spend a long time in this mode trying to get everything to unlock the bonus areas and characters. So, I really like that. While it's not as big as the story mode for Crash Team Racing, it's nice.
personally, I really like the trophy challenge because it helps you find new shortcuts and lets you just admire the track.
This is only the beginning of our magical racing adventure. But the tracks wouldn't be fun unless the racing is good. How does this game control? Well, if you're comfortable with the racing in Mario Kart, this might take some getting used to. While you can just hold down the acceleration button the entire time, you'll probably crash into a couple walls. Also, the drifting is much different. It's not as easy to handle, and if you keep going for a long period of time, you'll spin out. That doesn't mean the racing is bad, it just takes a little getting used to, and once you have, it's quite enjoyable.
You have your standard Mario Kart style items with a Disney twist. Also, by collecting coins, your speed will increase, and by collecting these, lucky fairies, alright, it will increase your chances of getting a better item.
It's what the manual says.
And if you can read that, thank the Phoenicians.
By going through 3 warp rings, you will unlock a shortcut that you can use for a small period of time. The bonus arenas are this game's version of the battle mode in Mario Kart. Whoever collects 30 coins first wins. Nothing crazy, but the maps are a good size, and they're all unique.
With a variety of fun and unique tracks with different shortcuts to discover, this is certainly a game worth trying out, whether by yourself completing the adventure mode or with friends in multiplayer. Being based on somewhere as well known as Walt Disney World, This game has quite a lot to live up to when it comes to the audio and visual department. So, how did they do?
Pretty good, sure as you're born.
There you go, now that's a reference right there. Let's check out the presentation. I'll just say it right now. This game does a fantastic job making you feel like you're racing around Walt Disney World. The presentation is where this game shines, both with how it looks and how it sounds. There is occasional slowdown and some graphical glitches, and when I played the PC version, it slowed down a lot, but that might just be my computer. And none of these problems take away from the fun and exciting racing.
Most of the tracks have music ripped straight from their attractions, which means we can't use them in this video.
Thanks, Disney.
The only 3 courses that don't have their own music are Blizzard Beach, Dinosaur, and Rock and Roller Coaster. Obviously, they wouldn't be able to use music from Aerosmith, and the other 2 really don't have music anyway. So the developers of the game, Crystal Dynamics, and the publisher, Eidos, decided to steal music from their other games.
Also, one thing I wanted to point out is the music for the studio backlot is like a poor man's version of Hooray for Hollywood.
That's Hooey Valley, Hooey Hollywood, where any office boy or young mechanic can be a panic with just a good-looking.
You'd think a song with the line, "Go out and try your luck, you may be Donald Duck," would be easy for Disney to license.
As for the visuals, the graphics look great for the PS1. But take a look at the Dreamcast version. Wow, that's what I call an improvement. Same for the audio in the Dreamcast version.
One thing I really love is each track has its specific vehicle. A spaceship for Space Mountain, a log for Splash Mountain, and a doom buggy for the Haunted Mansion.
You know, you're doing a really good job talking about the Haunted Mansion, seeing as how you're scared of ghosts.
Yeah, better than you talking about...
Now, as for the tracks themselves, all of them are near perfect representations of the attractions they're based on. I say near perfect because the events they show in Splash Mountain are a little out of order. I mean, I understand the big drop is the big selling point of the ride, but I mean, the ferry boat part happens after the big drop, so why is it before
Josh, stop. Okay? Stop.
But I still think it's rather strange. Outside of that, though, the attention to detail in this game is outstanding. The graveyard in the Haunted Mansion, and again, bringing up Splash Mountain. Just look at all of this.
This is one reason I love the Trophy Challenge, because it gives you a chance to see all these little things. And again, to find the shortcuts, some are obvious, some are hidden, and some have to be unlocked.
While the tracks may not be anything epic, like Rainbow Road, they do their job and do it fantastically, representing Disney World. This game is not only a fun one to play, but also fun to look at and listen to. So overall, is Walt Disney World Quest Magical Racing Tour a game worth waiting 2 hours in line for, or is this one you should just skip? This, in my opinion, is one of the most underrated racing games ever, and it's almost like a hidden Mickey of Disney games, and finding it will make you feel just as great. While it may not have as many tracks as a lot of other racers, Disney World Racing Tour still has so much to offer, especially if you're a big fan of the parks, like we are.
Yeah.
As a kid, I loved this game. Even though kart racers really aren't that big nowadays, I would love to see a sequel to this game. You know, add in some new rides like Expedition Everest or the recently opened Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
And include some of the park characters, like Figment.
Exactly. I think it would be awesome, but unfortunately that's just a gaming dream that will never come true.
The only major complaint I have with this game is, as Josh said before, it doesn't have as many tracks or modes as Mario Kart or Crash Team Racing, and the controls take some getting used to, but that doesn't stop this from being a great game. Whether you've been to the parks or not, You'll have fun racing around these tracks by yourself or with buddies.
Walt Disney World Quest Magical Racing Tour is a zippity-doo-dah time, and if you've never played it, I say you should check it out, and it deserves some time in the spotlight.
See, now, wasn't that fun?
I guess it was.
You just have to learn to use your imagination.
Oh yeah, because you know me, I never use my imagination.
You've got to flip things around, try something new, be creative. I'll talk to you later, Josh.
Alright, well, see you later, Sid. Imagination. Imagination. When did it get so cold out here? What month is this? October! Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Breathe, Gillespie, breathe. At least that's the only surprise I have to worry about. What happened to my room?